Danny Stewart did a hockey school with the little guys, I think in the October break, and kind of ruffled my feathers a bit because all the little guys were coming up to me now asking where Danny was, because I used to enjoy my status. I used to enjoy that, it was good, but I mean the kids did learn a lot, and Danny's a great coach. You know, he has a good authority with the kids, and you're right. So I mean, I think that is starting, you know what I mean? I think that when we're mired into losing and guys are hurt, like it's been difficult, this has been a difficult season, but I think that that's all the bridges that we get going again, and all the avenues we start going down. I agree with that. I think that will happen. That will happen.
The minimum wage in the NHL for a rookie is what, $400,000. You're never going to see these guys here. Their life changes the minute they sign up nowadays. Whereas before, the wage gap was big, but it wasn't unbridgeable. Guys like Smale and Boschman could be paid to come and play here. That'll never happen again. The gap is just enormous. They're all millionaires by the time they're 20. You know, the only way they're going to come to play here is if they get a membership at St Andrews or something. They're not here to play hockey.
Could you not organise that, Mr. Lee?
To add to that, I mean, you know, you look at Cohen, he's a pretty quiet, unassuming guy. You get somebody with that's played like with DEL experience and stuff like that. I mean, I think that when you see him on his game and stuff like that, I mean, that's a high quality ice hockey player. And you know, we try to do our homework on our guys, and like you said, I mean, just because a guy has you know, a game in the NHL doesn't mean make him great. Makes him a good hockey player, but you know, some guys get there for maybe they're on a Memorial Cup winning team and they were a third liner, but they were in the right place at the right time. But you find it, you know, you find a diamond in the rough like a Kuznick. I mean, if he didn't have that game in the NHL, he'd still be exact same player. You know what I mean? And these players don't come along all the time. You really have to do your homework, and you know, that's what we try to do, because I mean, just because you're from North America doesn't make you a great hockey player. You really have to do your homework on some of these guys, and it's tough to get a straight answer out of some guys. Sometimes you're talking to references, could be their friends or whatever, and we try to utilize the guys we have back in North America. And you know, I don't really think we have a bad import on the team. I think they're all pretty decent play, like you said, you know. But and that's our goal, to try to go for quality rather than quantity. When these guys came in, you got to remember they're not used to it. They're used to playing 3-4 line hockey for 30 seconds, and a lot of North Americans are like that. And we didn't have any imports on the team. I was talking to a couple former players from here a couple weeks ago, and I was saying one of my biggest problems is we didn't have 3 or 4 guys here that have been playing for a couple years to kind of show them not only the town, but the ropes of the league and the ropes of the team, you know. So all these guys have had to kind of find their feet, as you say, to make that adjustment. So there has been a period. But for example, Matt Cohen, when he first came here, he said, like, I think he said in a newspaper article, he was saying, like, I don't know if my body can take this, and Hamilton was kind of agreeing with him. But over the last week, I think if you see Mike Hamilton, he comes off for like 20 seconds, he's ready to go again now, and he's chomping at the bit. And same with Cohen. Cohen said to me, you know, just before he got hurt there, he goes, I love this. He goes, you know, I've never played this much in my life, but he goes, now my body's accustomed to him. I'm absolutely loving it, you know. Because I said, you know, when we get our new import in, I'll be able to cut your ice time down. And he didn't look too happy about that, so. Tough. And I mean, especially when you're getting injured, you know, because these guys' bodies are their tools of their trade. So, you know, you're asking guys to play through injuries and stuff like this. So morale has been tough, and I mean, I don't think I've played really on a losing team over here. I played on one in North America and junior, and it was a tough season too. Morale is probably one of the biggest killers, and you know, I mean, like you can drag down. I mean, morale can lose you hockey games as well that you might be in, you know. So we've done different things. we switch things up, and you've probably seen us hit our peaks and troughs, but that's probably been one of the toughest parts of my job, that's for sure. When I first came in, I had to actually back up. I'm going to tell you how many years I've been over here, but I had to back up to when I first came over here, right? And I tried to reflect on my attitude when I first walked in and saw the different setup. You know, an East Coast League player now is treated like probably like an American Hockey League or borderline NHL players playing, like it's all starting to trickle down to professionalism. So the guys come in and, you know, hi, this is Chris Wands, he's a joiner. This is so-and-so, he's a joiner, and this guy's a plumber, and this guy fits kitchens, and, you know, oh, well, we train at night because these guys gotta work, and they're kind of looking around. And I was thinking, I think I've been here long enough to let stuff just goes over my head, you know, but these guys are looking around saying, like, these guys aren't taking it serious. But once they get to know them, and once they get to realize that, you know, this is a hobby for these guys. They're showing up the rink. They're going down to Cardiff on Boxing Day because they love hockey. You know what I mean? They're not doing it because they're getting rich off this. I think the imports get a new respect for them. And once they can see what these guys do, once they've made the adjustment, yeah, they certainly, I think imports' attitudes towards them have certainly changed, and it was one I was frustrated with at the start because, like I said, I'm quite passionate about defending the kids, but it's something that if you don't know, it's hard to adjust to, but I think they've adjusted well. My first priority was to put a hockey club together, as was the directors, and then we had to get everything set up, and then we realized the stuff, like, you know, we used to have Doc McKean used to work with us, and you know, we used his contacts, and that's something that you just can't go out and say, yep, I want you back in this, because they've drifted off and done different things. But we've been working hard behind the scenes. These guys have been working like crazy, and we have had a lot of success with getting physio. And now we have a physio we're working with. He puts aside a block of 8 to 10 hours a week, which is quite substantial. You know, he'll treat us, take care of the niggly little injuries. So all these things are that I wanted or could have used 3 months ago. They're all coming on board now, and it's something that you got to remember back in, like you would say, the B&L days, and this is quite similar because it's the same amount of imports. Unfortunately, never had a physio. It was just get out there and play. You know what I mean? Morrison would come up to me and kind of look me over. Can you walk? Yeah, back out there. So I'm kind of from that school as well, you know. To him on Sunday night. He was at the game, and he's progressing quite well. I think that obviously a concussion is, you know, it's not like a sore ankle, or it's not like a bad knee. Concussion is, you know, you can also get in your head a little bit. You have to be symptom free. So he's progressing quite well. We're just waiting for him to, you know, to be able to jump on a bike and not get a headache. And as soon as he can get through a workout, he'll be getting back on the ice with us. And I know he's keen because, pardon me, I talked to him on Sunday night there, and he's quite keen to obviously get better first, but to get back out there. So I think you should see him back quite soon. Garrett's committed to the cause. I think there's been a lot of discussion about you know, oh, we're going to lose Garrett, we're going to this, we're going to that. I think it's good to wear your heart on your sleeve. He's a young guy. I think that you know, some guys do, you know, wear their passion on their sleeve, and some guys keep it in. I think everybody walking down that corridor felt exactly the same. You know, if he showed a bit of frustration, you know, I think everybody was feeling that really hurt. But you know what, you gotta, like, sometimes I forget how young these guys are. I mean, he's 22 years old, and you know, maybe doesn't, you know, I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for, but he doesn't feel any different from the way I feel when I lose a hockey game or the 20th game in a row. You know, he wants to do well, and I think that I've talked to him about it. Certainly over here, you know, like if anybody who was here was down in Nottingham, you know, like people over here have a memory for what players do. So if he has any concern about you know, the career ahead of him and stuff like this, he just has to look when he gets a standing ovation from 4,000 people, that people realize you saw what he could do his first game in here. He got off the plane and allowed only Coventry to only score 2 goals against him. I mean, so everybody knows what he's capable of. I don't think he should take it personal. You know, not everybody looks in the stats column. I think that's an easy thing to do as a coach or an agent or whatever, but I think you're obviously worried about losing him, so you know how good he is, you know, so, and everybody around the league knows how good Garrett is.